Long Live the Rebels is different from Attack in a lot of ways. One of the biggest ways is on the production end of it. Andrew, me, and Joey were new to the band when Attack was being recorded. We were still kind of figuring out how we all worked together and wrote together and how to record together. Joey came in right when we were starting the recording process, so he didn't even he learned the songs after they were already written. So this time around, we all were writing as a unit and figuring out the parts and moving through the demo process together with the album in mind, with a cohesive vision. And that really helped, I think, bring it all together to where we all feel a strong ownership of the songs. We felt that way, of course, about Attack 2, but even to a higher degree this time around, which is really cool for the three of us, I think.
And we got to see the songs from, like you said, the demo stage all the way through to the end and be involved during the process. Have a little bit more of a hands-on experience with being amateur producers. So that was really fun. Amateur just means you do it because you love it. That's a fact.
Not to be confused with immature producers.
I think in Attack, we were really looking forward to writing songs lyrically that we hadn't been able to say in a long time, because we felt like our lyrics were under such a microscope because we had to get permission from 6 different people with what the final version of our lyrics could be. So we were really looking forward to say a lot of things in Attack. We said all those things in Attack, so we felt like to repeat ourselves would be obviously not very creative. So we didn't repeat ourselves with Long Live the Rebels, and we were usually I always feel this pressure in semi-writer's block of like, what are we going to write about? Because I feel like we've written everything, but there wasn't any of that this time. There was just a ton of inspiration just going around. Songs like Spinning, my uncle died, and I was just lost in this haze of how it made me feel, and songs like Spinning were happening. First Love was kind of the theme of like my heart, like over the last year or two, and it just was easy to say all these things because it's just where we were and how things were happening. Underdog, obviously, kind of people's words against you, kind of just fueling your fire. You have the two choices when people bully you or say that you'll never make it. You either can be bitter about it, or you can take their words and use it as fuel. And coming from that place, it was an easy song for me to write. So there was just all this inspiration that was there, very different from Attack, but it's also one of those albums that we feel like from start to finish that we really like. We don't feel like there's like an album song, quote unquote, on it that kind of lets up where we're not really all that excited about it. So it's kind of start to finish. I'd say on the second day, he became like the fifth member of the band. Day one was like, hi, how are you? What's going on? Day two, he was like the fifth member of the band, and we were joking and just all of the way that we joke and the way we kid around. He jumped right in with us and was letting us be us, and at the same time we were letting him be him, and it was a really, really cool thing.
I would say that he really fostered like a really fun, creative atmosphere. He was excited about exploring the songs and getting the sounds and trying new things, which is what we always feel when we're making music, but you don't always have that same empathy, I guess, with the producer. But he was all about it and kept the environment just really fun and creative and active, I would say.
And I'll say too, I've been a huge fan of Aaron Sprinkle's work ever since I was young, early teenage years, listening to all the Tooth and Nail bands that I was into and all the records that he produced. It was a very exciting thing to finally get to do a record with him. And, the one thing that I loved about working with him is when I got into recording drums, I typically get nervous before I record, but it was such a comfortable environment, and I felt like completely stress-free while I was recording the record. And he also really pushed me to give the best stuff, even if it was just a small cymbal swell that we were recording, I would do it and he'd be like, no, do it again, just a little bit sooner or whatnot, and I'd do it and I'm like, that's the same thing, but he would keep going until it was he's like, that was it, And so it really was awesome for him to care so much about just even the minuscule details, and pushed me to be a better player. And I feel like he brought us more together as a team and as a band.
It seems like the ones we thought would do well are doing well. With First Love, Erase, and Got Us With Us. The ones that we are surprised by, I think Come My Way is a big surprise. A lot of people really love that song. Secret Weapon has definitely been listed a lot.
Well, I'll say too that even we posted a thing just saying there's like a social media post about tag your friend and say your favorite song, and honestly, and say you're it. Honestly, every song on the album was listed many times, and I think that was a huge compliment the way I took it. Anyway, is people's favorite songs cover the entire album, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, it was very equally spread.
Yeah, there's a really, really good spread of it, which is really reaffirming that we didn't, like he said before, didn't have any really weak cuts or just filler. That's the way it's looking anyway. The fan response has been amazing. I've been saying it's like suspiciously good feedback. Like it's almost too good. I'm waiting on the other shoe to drop.
Yeah, it's like we created a bunch of fake accounts and wrote reviews ourselves.
We did take a risk on the album. We put a pop song on the album with Empty Grave, and that's been one of the songs that's mentioned a lot. Usually if God Is With Us is mentioned, Empty Grave gets mentioned with it. Like 75% of the time, if somebody likes God Is With Us, they'll like that one too, or mention it. And so that was a risk for us because it's a pop song. It's not even a rock song. We thought there may be some people out there that might throw some hate and shade our way for doing that. Yeah, they throw it out. But no, we haven't heard a bit, so that was cool. We hope that they would like it artistically, musically. We hope that they would enjoy it. But evangelism is the number one goal of the band, whether they don't know Jesus or whether they do. I hate the term preaching to the choir when people say, why are you preaching to the choir? When half of the choir is depressed and half of the choir is struggling with issues and all those kind of things, the choir needs to be preached to as well. And so we're evangelism first to the people that don't know Jesus and to the people that do. And we want to emotionally connect with them through our songs and through the message of our songs. That after they listen to a song, that they will be moved, and that the movement that will happen in their life will be moving them closer to Jesus.